From the Geico Studios of Fox Sports Radio, here's the Odd Couple, Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
It has been a horrendous start for one Jon Gruden with the Oakland Raiders.
You mean the $100 million coach that they couldn't wait to get? That guy?
The guy that, let's face it, they felt was worth more money than Khalil Mack. Because that's what it came down to. You could have taken some of that money you gave him, and you would have been able to bring back Khalil Mack. Now, he had a lot to do with not bringing back Khalil Mack, though.
Right, but what did he just say about how they don't want to pay managers in baseball, but this guy signed an unbelievable record, $100 million contract
guaranteed
for a coach.
Well, look, here's the thing. Coaches in the NFL make a huge difference. The real top-notch coaches, they can come in and turn the team around pronto. We saw it with Andy Reid in Kansas City.
Yeah, but he can't win the big game.
But still, he makes you relevant. And let's see if he can win the big game.
No, let's see. We've seen for the last 20 years.
He's still got elite teams that are going to contend for championships.
I don't buy into Andy Reid. I'm just telling you, I've seen enough of the Andy Reid story.
So is it relevant that he has great regular seasons? Is that irrelevant? I mean, you just told me you got to break the bank for Clayton Kershaw, who has big regular seasons, but hadn't been able to get it done in the postseason.
There's a big difference when you have a coach who has a track record of having these teams. Remember, they went to four straight NFC championship games. It ain't like Chris. They went 1 year. The Dodgers have been in the World Series once, twice.
Yeah, but
over
they
the last
had a
couple
shot
years.
to be there the last 6 years.
But I'm talking about Andy Reid. I just don't buy into.
So
him.
you would be more impressed with Andy Reid. His regular season record is the same, but he gets to, let's say he only gets to one AFC championship NFC championship game in Philadelphia, maybe even two. You would be more impressed with that than for him to get the four straight?
They don't even get there now. Go look at, he's lost, and I'll get it for you. I'll get all the numbers. Since he's been in Kansas City, they've lost like 3 or 4 home playoff games, Chris. All I'm saying is that they don't get it done, and he hasn't gotten it done. It's not like they've gone to the Super Bowl and lost. But they've lost in the first round where they're a good team.
But they are
Hey, Rob, I want you to look that up for me. Give me
in
Andy
the
Reid.
NFL, and they're relevant every year.
No,
that said, there's something to be said for that. We were talking about that with the Knicks and Patrick Ewing. They never won the big one, but they were relevant. That's all I'm saying.
After a while, I know we'll get the record, but I'm telling you, his record is like bad where he's lost home in the NFL, home playoff game.
I mean, Peyton Manning's record was bad.
He's 11-13 all time. And Rob, give me what he's got done since he's been in Kansas City. He's 1-4. How many of those games are at home? It's like 4 games he's lost at home, Chris. That's all I'm saying.
So what are you trying to say? He's not a good coach?
I'm just saying I wouldn't bank anything on Andy Reid.
But you would bank on Clayton Kershaw.
I'm just telling you.
Would you bank on Peyton Manning?
You can't replace Kershaw is what I'm telling you. Steve Phillips just told you that.
Now it's a little different team, but thanks to Andy Reid. But when he came in, they were a horrible team, and he turned them around immediately. That's all I'm saying. You're right. He hasn't won the big game, so I can't sit here and say he's a championship coach. What I can say, though, is he's a very good coach, and he turns teams around.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I'm just saying I'm out on Andy Reid.
But the point, you understand the point I'm making.
Right.
Harbaugh in San Francisco turned them around. A lot of times you bring in a new coach who knows what he's doing, and he takes a team that didn't look that good, and all of a sudden, Sean McVay.
I'm glad you said that, because there's been a lot of coaches also who have gotten jobs and can't turn it around in 2 or 3 years because they're not good enough.
Right. And that's what I'm wondering about Gruden. This was a team that just 2 years ago was 12-4. And 6-10, they were bad last year, but it wasn't like they were 3-13.
Right.
And now they look worse than ever. And Gruden had to come out today and say to the media, we are not tanking.
That threw me off totally, because I'm sorry. Why, Chris, would you even address that? My character, you telling me that I got to come out and prove to you that I'm not tanking?
Do you think he's tanking?
No, he hasn't traded anybody yet. Who's he trading? No, I'm just saying.
You serious?
Yeah, I don't think you
Khalil Mack.
No, but I'm saying, but that was over a contract. No, but tanking means where you just like you just want to lose because you want to get the top pick in the draft.
But a lot of almost half their starters from last year, he's moved on from.
No, but there's an
Michael Crabtree, Marshall Newhouse.
There's an ulterior motive though, is that those are all the guys from their previous GM, right? I just forgot.
He's Reggie McKenzie. The current GM.
So what? Right, but that's how you get rid of. You're getting rid of Reggie's guys. So then what happens next? You don't need Reggie, and then he could take over the whole thing.
Okay,
I believe that.
So what's he trying to do?
He's trying to undermine Reggie McKenzie, saying his players are no good, and then he gets to buy the groceries and cook the food.
Well, I think he's doing that anyway.
That's what he's doing.
I think he's doing that anyway, but he may want to bring in more of a puppet. But isn't that tanking?
No.
I mean, he wants to loot, right? He's getting rid of his best players, whether they're that good or not.
I think
he's getting rid of them, and now he wants to lose, though, right?
Tanking is, I want the first pick in the draft, and you're down to the end of the season, and you have a shot at it. And your last 4 or 5 games, you start doing crazy things, playing rookie quarterback or making a move. Say you bench Derek Carr.
Didn't they play 10 rookies? Did they play 10 rookies in their last game against Seattle and London?
I don't look at that as tanking. That's just my opinion. Tanking to me is I got to. They're not guaranteed the first pick in the draft. How are they tanking?
They're
what?
1-5. They could have the worst record in the league.
No.
I think I think he is tanking. And I'm not saying it's a terrible thing to do, and I think he's right to come out and deny it.
I don't think that should even.
So you think he's out there trying to win every Sunday?
Yes, and I just think that. But he wants to be able to get complete control of the organization. And when you get a contract like that, and you get $100 million or whatever, and there's still a guy, Reggie McKenzie, there, who's the GM, who was there before you, that's not your guy. I guarantee you, Reggie McKenzie will be replaced next year. And Jon Gruden will bring in his guy who he wants to be GM. I guarantee
I think that's very similar to tanking.
I don't.
I think he's trying to get – I mean, the trades they're talking about, now there's talk that they might trade Amari Cooper for what? Draft picks. So he wants to store up draft picks for the draft. I mean, that's what he got for Khalil Mack. And I think you're right. I think part of it's getting McKenzie out of there too. But Gruden has the final say anyway right now, whether they admit it or not.
But he's still there, and I'm just saying, because if that's the case, a lot of coaches would keep people. You're not going to keep Reggie McKenzie's not going to stay there and not do anything. Do you know what I mean? And be like a puppet or a figurehead. He's not. So I bet you Reggie McKenzie's looking at what's going on.
You think Reggie McKenzie is calling the shots now, or Gruden?
No.
But that's what he is.
But he's getting rid of all. What you do is when Bill Parcells took over the Jets, when they were 1-15 under Rich Kotite. He turned the roster over. It was Kotite's one team, right? And what he did was, the next year, 90% of the players were gone. I mean, you decide to put in your own guys. That's natural. But in this case, he gets rid of Reggie McKenzie in the process.